Good afternoon. This is a question posed. It concerns survivor benefits paid to minor children and whether one will increase when the older of the two ages out of being a dependent entitled to survivor benefits under a parent's record. So, looks like the individual posing the question was getting some conflicting information from the SSA who didn't know how much more the remaining child would get, et cetera, et cetera. So I thought I'd put this down on a video, even though I did provide a write-up for it, but sometimes it's easier this way for some people who prefer to listen instead of read the response. So basically it's like this. Now, in this case, I don't know if those two children were the only two taking a benefit based on the mom who passed away, the deceased parent's work record. So generally, survivor benefits for a child are 75%. This means that they can each potentially get up to 75% of mom's primary insurance amount. Okay. Now, there is something called the family maximum. And generally, the family maximum can be anywhere from 150% of mom's primary insurance amount, PIA, primary insurance amount, potentially up to 180-ish. I don't know the exact number. Lower income earners tend to have a family max in the lower range, closer to the 150, and higher income earners tend to gravitate up towards the 180. Okay. Anyway, it probably has to do with bend points and all sorts of other things, but I don't really know. Not my pay grade to do that math. But so and I'm just going to use a number here for simplicity's sake. Let's say the mom's benefit rate was $1,000. Then each kid's maximum potential when mom passed would be 75% of that, or $750. Correct me if I'm doing the math wrong. Now, do they get the 750? They probably do if they are the only two people collecting on mom's work record. If there is a stay-at-home parent taking care of these kids, that parent might be getting a caretaker benefit. So if that was the case, let's say it's 150% is the family maximum. Mom's not taking her 100. So we have that full, what did we say? 1,000. We have her full 1,000. And if the family maximum is 150%, that would mean there was 1,000 plus 500 is 1,500 to be split amongst anyone who's collecting under that work record. Okay, so if there's only two kids, the 750 and the 750 happens to meet that 1,500. They're not exceeding the family max, so they would get their full 75%. If there was a caretaker, if there was a third child, they would not all be getting their 75% because they would be exceeding the $1,500 family max, right? That 150% of mom's primary insurance amount. So, but in this instance, let's say that there's only the two children collecting, getting their 750. The oldest one turns 18 and is no longer eligible. Because the younger one was already getting the 75%, there's nothing more for him to get. So he'll continue to get a 75%. The 18-year-old will not be getting 75%. And that can be difficult on a household who's unaware that their 18-year-old now isn't going to be bringing in $750 a month. So if the household was relying on that 750 to pay rent, mortgage, pay the bills, now that there's one parent not available to work and do that, it's going to be tougher. Now, if there is a caretaker parent, and that would be if that child is under 16, and that caretaker parent is a dependent, meaning probably subject to the earnings limits and stuff like that, that caretaker parent could potentially get a caretaker benefit also. And that could even that all out. Had there been, say, 3 kids, again, their potential maximum per kid is 75% or $750. When there's 3, and if that family max is 1,500, like we talked about before, the 3 people collecting now have to split that, and they're going to prorate it. Generally, they're going to prorate it evenly And so they'll each get 500. But again, there's a whole 1,500 still coming into the family. So it almost doesn't matter, who it's going to in terms of the gross amount coming into the family to help support the family. But again, if someone ages out and there's no one else there to collect any of it, that remaining child is still never going to get more than 75%. If there was the 3 kids and the one aged out, so if they were getting 500, 500, 500, one ages out and isn't getting the 500, now the other 2 are going to be able to get back to that 750, right? Because they're going to split, they're going to figure out the 75%. And it turns out it's not exceeding the family max, because 750 plus 750 would be the 1,500, and they'd be good to go. Again, let's say it was 4 kids. They'd each be getting 1/4 of 1,500. Let's just say it was 1,600 to make it simple. They'd each be getting 400. That's far less than 75%. But when one scrolls off, ages out, then the other ones will be able to increase what they're getting, so long as they don't exceed the 75%. And of course, the total of everybody taking cannot exceed the family maximum. Okay. I hope that explains it. So you got to look at it. It's always going to depend on the family, the benefit amount, how many people are collecting, be it children or other dependent adults on that record. So there is no exact answer until you plug all those numbers in. And I believe you can call your field office and get your family maximum amount under that work record. So whoever is eligible to receive information about the deceased parents, Social Security situation and primary insurance amount and all that, should be able to get that. I would think the custodial parent of the remaining children would have no problem getting that. I hope that helps explain. Feel free to ask any questions if I'm unclear in any way. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye.